Hi, everybody. I'm John
I'm Joni.
for the Human Potential. It's Friday here in hot Arizona. We live up in northern Peoria, um, and a little tired today.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's the end of the week. We're a little bit kind of exhausted from work and just working out ourselves, exercising, but a little tired. Um, Today's topic, though, is about faith. Deep faith and conviction. And what does that actually mean? What does it mean to you? So, what does faith mean to you?
Faith is a belief or on some level a knowing that whatever it is that
Without really knowing.
right, without really knowing. There's no proof, there's no external thing to tell you this is true, but yet you still believe. That would be my definition of faith.
Faith is a tremendous thing. They say, right, if you had enough faith the size of a mustard seed, you can move mountains,
Yeah.
right? It's a knowingness. And I would say that faith is more of a knowingness than it is faith in itself, right? It's just a matter of terminology.
Yeah, I suppose. I think it's more of a knowingness than a belief because people have a lot of beliefs.
Right.
I said belief, but that isn't really.
It's more knowing.
It's more of a knowing. Yeah.
And a great example of that, I'm going to use this in the way of Jesus now, or Yeshua, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. When I speak of Jesus, Jesus to me is much deeper than any religion, any book, anything like that. It's a deep friendship that I have personally for me. And I would say the same with Siddhartha Buddha. So I'm not exclusive. But it's a deep understanding of Jesus. I use Jesus just because for me that's what I was more known when I grew up Catholic. People say recovering Catholic. But it's not religious at all. Whether Jesus existed or not is irrelevant. You can believe or not believe whatever you like. Buddha, Krishna, Confucius, whatever you wish, it doesn't matter. What I'm using are examples or metaphors of examples. So whether the events occurred or not occurred really is irrelevant. But let's take Jesus for an instance of faith and conviction and a knowingness. Right. So Jesus itself supposedly died on the cross, right?
Right.
But before dying on the cross, what did he have to do? He had to carry that cross.
Right.
Right? And what was happening when he was carrying that cross, supposedly, he was getting beat, whipped.
Yes.
Okay?
Stoned, whipped, all that kind of thing.
And this cross, I would assume, is not light.
No. He carried it supposedly with great difficulty.
Right?
It was very heavy.
Now, the question is, how many people in your life do you know that would go through that experience?
None.
Right?
None, really.
I could tell you two people I know.
It would depend. It would depend on
myself and Freddie.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm just going to be honest with you. Because I put myself in that category because I know me and I know the love and compassion I have for humanity. I don't always like humanity, but I love and I love and respect humanity for who they are inside their human being, the animals, the earth itself. In a lot of ways, I do feel like this is my planet, and like I'm responsible for this earth that we live on, and uplifting it and making it, or making it the greatness that it already is, or allowing people to see the greatness that already exists within them. And that is just through my own spiritual development and spiritual relationship with the divine. I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand. I've seen the greatness that exists within each human being. I can feel it and see it when I meet people. I don't always like people. I don't like being around people, to be perfectly honest with you, because most of the time they're not presenting their best and highest self. They're presenting this fake image, or this image that they think they're supposed to be.
Right.
And a lot of it is boisterous, and it's posturing, and egotistical, and I just can't stand that.
Right.
I mean, I understand it. I'm okay
Sure.
with it. I love them and respect them and send them on their way, but I graciously usually don't, right, stick around that. I don't like a lot of big crowds. I don't like a lot of people, but I love the human spirit. Of course, we love planet Earth. So if God were to say to me, hey, the divine, would you give up yourself and there'd be peace and prosperity throughout all land? 100% yes, right? I would go
Right.
through this without question, because I know the greater good, and I know, one, we don't die. So I know that my body and my spirit and energy will go on. No matter what you do to the physical body, the energy will go on.
Right.
But when you take this down really as a lesson to learn from, people are going to say, oh, that's so bad. Forget the fact that he was tortured and all that. That is, yes, true. But the lesson there is of faith and conviction and knowingness, knowing that you're doing the right thing, knowing that you're going in the right direction. Think about that. When you make a change, right? And you feel this change is good, you're somewhat tested.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And how many people quit before that?
Most people think of New Year's resolutions.
Christopher Columbus. Whether Christopher Columbus found America or not found America is irrelevant. But let's just break that down for a second. Okay. How many people tried to get in a boat before him and go do it and stopped?
Yeah.
Right? The unknown. Going to the unknown.
Fear of the unknown, that's for sure.
Right?
Right.
But Jesus pushed through. Columbus pushed through, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a deep faith and conviction and understanding of the purpose of the reality of what is. And that's what the lesson really here to me is. It's of a knowingness and a deep faith.
Right. And I think that certain people, they're willing to endure the suffering or uncomfortableness that it requires for that, which is often, Columbus was in the boat for months, still not knowing. At that point in history,
Right.
still not knowing, was he going to reach land or not? But he had that deep conviction.
Right.
So he was able to push on.
To push through.
Same with Jesus suffering while he was carrying the cross.
Right. For a reason, for a purpose.
Right.
That required a tremendous amount of faith.
Right.
A tremendous amount of knowingness.
Yeah.
That you're doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the next time you step out on a ledge with really no vision, just a gut feeling, just a this is what I'm supposed to do. Trust in that. Have faith that you're being guided. Have faith, right, that you're doing the right thing. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's not going to be difficult. But as we push through these barriers in our life, again, I'm going to use the example of sperm getting that egg. A lot of those sperm die off, but it only takes one to hit it and birth occurs. So, just because you're, at the end, it's not over. Right. It's going to be okay. And that's the difference with myself, is I know ultimately it doesn't really matter what you do to me. It's going to be okay. It's going to work out. That's a faith, that's a knowingness that I have. And no matter what happens, it's going to work out. So, food for thought. Hope you guys like it. Thanks for listening. Remember, love yourself. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye, guys.